Talia was unaware at what point alcohol started clouding her mind and removing inhibitions. After 3 sweet cocktails, Talia was only slightly buzzed when she danced with Keith, but by the time she reached the dance floor the second time, Talia was giggling uncontrollably. She could see the smiling faces of Dawn, Xena, Pierce, and Liam coming in and out of focus among many others. The booze coursed through Talia's system, and there was loud music that shook her insides, and people danced, and the mood was good, and Talia raised her arms in the air and wiggled her hips and jumped like the rest of the crowd. Her legs were wobbly, and she would have fallen down if not for her bumping into people around her. Maya told her that they will drink and dance to improve her mood, and Talia did the drinking part. Now it was time for dancing. Talia didn't want to think about Alpha Damon or Miss Mindy or any other miss who was way above her. She didn't want to be reminded that she was undesirable. Talia also didn't want to think about her independence or anything other than letting loose and dancing until her legs gave up completely. Alcohol helped numb all of Talia's emotions, and she was blissfully unaware of the gazes she attracted. A pair of strong hands landed on Talia's hips from behind, and after a few failed jumping attempts, Talia realized that someone was holding her in place. Talia turned to face a tall, muscular guy with a head full of black hair, and her heart skipped a beat. But that was only for a moment, because his eyes were not icy blue, and his scent was off. "I see you are having fun, and I thought of joining," the guy said to Talia, and the strong scent of alcohol splashed on her face. She had cocktails and beer, and this was the scent of hard liquor. Talia shook her head, trying to dispel the dizziness caused by her drunken condition, and to focus on what's happening because no matter how drunk she was, this didn't feel right. She put her hands over his and tried to pry herself free, but he was much stronger. It was like trying to move a mountain with floppy hands.
"No, thank you. I'm dancing with friends tonight,"
Talia said with a slur, thinking that will be enough to deter him. The guy looked above Talia's head. "I see a lot of people dancing, and no one is bothered that I'm here. You don't mind, do you, sweetheart?" Talia craned her neck to see behind her, and she couldn't see Liam or Pierce or Dawn or Xena. Of course, the place was packed, and people moved. Unless they held each other, it was easy to separate. They could have been only 2 steps away, but other bodies blocked them from her visual range. And just as the guy said, no one was bothered that he was there, holding her in place, and for some reason, he wanted to dance with her. Talia was unaware that Maya was observing the situation from the VIP booth, and she mind-linked Dawn and Xena to pull Liam and Pierce away from Talia. She didn't want Talia's new friends to be crippled on the same day Talia befriended them. Talia squinted at the guy who was not willing to let her go, and she wondered, why would he want to dance with her? He was so much taller and wider, and Talia never saw herself as attractive, but she was very familiar with the sensation of being bullied. Talia put her hands against his hard chest and tried to push him away, only to get chuckles from him in response to her feeble attempts to break free. "I don't think the girl is willing to be with you." A gruff voice full of malicious intent came from the side, and Talia froze. Why did it sound so familiar? Is her imagination playing tricks on her? "Why don't you mind your own business?" the guy who was holding Talia asked angrily. "She is my business." And the next thing Talia saw was a fist flying only inches away from her head, straight into the nose of the guy who was holding her. Blood. A lot of it. Before she could react, a black leather jacket fell over her face, and she lost the ground under her feet, while screams and commotion around her melded with the loud music from the nightclub. Talia inhaled sharply. The scent of the forest and dark chocolate from the jacket entered her system, and the swaying of her whole body told her that she was being carried through a noisy crowd, and then she blacked out. A few minutes before this happened, Talia was dancing like she had no care in the world, and Damon's eyes were observing several guys who were watching her. She was a beauty. Even from afar, Damon could see that Talia was intoxicated, and she had drank without him to protect her. Unacceptable. Damon thought of letting things roll and to seeing what happened. Maybe Talia could hold her own, but when he saw a guy actually putting his dirty hands on Talia, Damon couldn't stay on the side. He suppressed his alpha aura because he didn't want to attract unwanted attention. There were too many eyes in this club, and he didn't need to make that guy submit because he could just punch some sense into him. Just as Damon guessed, the guy was stupid drunk, and he dared to ask, "Why don't you mind your own business?" "She is my mate, you asshole!" The guy was not from the Dark Howler's pack, and it was obvious that he didn't recognize Damon. Damon punched him. That felt good. The guy stumbled backward, hitting people behind him, igniting a massive fight that swelled through the nightclub like a violent tidal wave with Damon at its center. Damon swiftly wrapped Talia in his jacket, covering her face with determination to take her out of the club. Whatever girl party time she had going on, it was over. "Caden, I'm out for the night. Maya, I'm taking Talia with me. She is pissed drunk." Damon spoke into the mind link angrily, and Maya cringed, knowing that she would be getting a scolding tomorrow. Damon released a bit of his aura with an intention to keep others at bay, but that didn't produce the desired effect on intoxicated people who were itching for a fight. Without much space to maneuver and needing at least one hand to block incoming stray limbs, Damon hoisted Talia over his shoulder, with her head falling against his back like a sack of potatoes. The moment he secured Talia on his shoulder, Damon saw a fist coming his way. Damon grabbed the fist and applied pressure. Loud music covered the horrid veil of the unfortunate person who didn't see that he was aiming for the devil himself. And Damon felt the vibrations of bones cracking before letting go of the guy. That would need a medic. Damon skillfully dodged and blocked hits that were coming his way, and he even delivered a few punches before he reached the exit with unscathed Talia as his trophy. The moment the fresh breeze hit Damon's face, Talia started struggling.
"You bastard! Let me go!"
she shouted while wiggling her legs. Talia would probably punch or slap him, but her upper body was wrapped in his jacket, blocking her sight and obstructing her movements.
"I told you I don't want to dance, and you kidnap me? Wait until Beta Maya finds out! Alpha Damon will break your legs!"
Damon paused when he heard Talia's threat that he would break his own legs. Just how wasted was she? Damon was facing a dilemma. Letting her down was not an option because a lot of people were watching. He was not ready for others to see the face of the girl he was carrying. Not before they talked it out and he explained how important she was, and he needed to be certain that she wouldn't run away. But Talia was squirming, and if he tightened his hold, he might hurt her, yet if he didn't, she would fall. Damon decided to run fast and dashed toward his SUV and put her in the front passenger seat with haste before removing the jacket just enough to check on her. He released the breath he was holding when he confirmed that her breathing was steady. He lowered the seat and strapped her in without unwrapping her from his jacket. Damon started the car and reached for her hand. The delightful sparks eased up his raging emotions a bit, and then he drove toward the packhouse. Only when they were away from the Shifters Nightclub, Damon loosened up the jacket to reveal Talia's sleeping face completely. He shook his head in disapproval. What if this was not him, but that other guy? Damon cursed under his breath. She was so beautiful and helpless, and he had an urge to go back to the nightclub and rematch that scoundrel who dared to put his hands on Talia. While he was at it, he would find those two guys who were hitting on Talia at the bar and use their bodies as punching bags to let out some steam.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.